Park Ranger Janice with the City of San Diego, and this is my baby. I shouldn't really have a favorite, but this is my baby. Today we're going to concentrate on Rose Canyon. Over at this entrance of Genesee, we have a native garden. Ben Stevenson, the chair of Rose Canyon Recreation Council, he works very hard in this garden with a lot of help from the public. Over at University High School, Professor Tannenbaum, and he brings the children into Rose Canyon and shows them all about the native plants, ecology, and the local flora and fauna of Rose Canyon. Right at the top of Noble Mesa is where we have some endangered vernal pools, which we have to protect. And there's a lot of controversy at the dead end of Regents. A nice trail goes right through the park. However, they are thinking of putting a freeway through there with a bridge over the railway tracks. All the way through the canyon, we have a small creek, and it goes all the way down to the ocean. Our open space parks are protected by the Multiple Species Conservation Program. From Rose Canyon, it adjoins with Miramar, and we have a lot of wild game that run all the way through the canyons, so we don't really want to block a corridor for the wildlife that run through the canyon. The arroyo willow is very important in the riparian habitat because we have an endangered bird, the least Bell's vireo, which likes to nest in the arroyo willow. Today is March the 11th, and we've just had a lot of heavy rain, and it's sort of created a wetland here in Rose Canyon. We have some visiting birds, the great blue herring, which are just loving it out here.
Welcome to the Rose Canyon Interpretive Garden of Native Plants. I'm Ben Stevenson. I'm the chair of the Rose Canyon Recreation Council, and I've played a large part in putting this garden together. We had many groups come in here over the last 12 years, and that's the age of this garden. And the sign up front shows that the Rotary Club has played a very active role in helping us build this garden, both with volunteers and funding. This project is not expensive, but it takes a lot of time. We've had well over 1,500 hours of volunteer efforts, where maybe in monetary terms it's cost, I'd say a little less than $2,000. In terms of volunteers, again, we've had as many volunteer hours as we've had dollars put into this. We work with kids, and it's important to tie in with the teachers at the high school and the grade levels. Our best efforts have been over at University City High School, which is right behind us. We've worked with them for about 7 years on this project. And just a week ago, I was with a group of about 15 of those kids. Right, this year's rain was, in my eyes, it's equal to our El Nino year, but I guess statistically it was more. This is about what it looked like after 97 and 98, which is, that was our last flood year. Plants really respond. They just turn into a gigantic form of their usual selves. It's been very beneficial. On the other side, there are some plants that demand a drier climate, and they actually respond in an opposite manner to heavy rains. Like, it looks like our cherries here might be lagging because of the heavy rains, and well, a few other species here in the garden just aren't doing as well. And I think it's because of too much water. Plants seem to respond best, ironically, after our 2003 cedar fire, which burned as close as a mile away from here. But the ash was so heavy, it had an impact on the blooming the next year. Plants responded very well to that. It's quite a fertilizer for these plants. Over the previous 2 years, our latest job has been to clear an infestation of German ivy, or maybe an English ivy, but also palm trees, and there was a large area of non-native ash trees which had taken over the area. We chainsawed the ash out of here, and we hand-pulled the ivy out. Once we did that, we discovered a big barren zone of very few native plants remained. So what you see down there now is essentially our native revegetation. So the habitat that all of these things grow in is called the riparian habitat, and that's where the streams come through. As I understand it, the Southern California riparian habitat is about the most endangered maybe in the world. I mean, who really knows, but it's up there. And the reason is it exists only from Santa Barbara down to about northern Baja and east about to the foothills. And if you consider what's been developed since World War I or World War II, that's us. So there's just not a whole lot of the habitat left. And where you see a free-flowing stream like this, that's also a pretty rare commodity.
Tenenbaum, and I'm a teacher over at University City High School. I teach advanced placement environmental science. It's a new course. It's only been offered since 1998. It's a very unique course because we're able to have the kids put what they've learned in all their different science courses in context of some of our society's most contentious issues. We're talking about resource management, and that then segues into urban planning choices. Well, the next thing, which is our urban planning discussion, and here in University City, we have a very emotional issue playing out, and that is whether to put through a bridge, for Regents Road, where the street is discontinuous on both sides of Rose Canyon. Well, Rose Canyon is a very beautiful natural habitat. It's one of San Diego's nicest greenbelt areas. From an aesthetic point of view, it's a wonderful resource. From a wildlife point of view, it's a wonderful resource. But the people who are sitting in bumper-to-bumper traffic on Genesee, they long, some of them anyways, may long for the day that they had an alternate route that they could use. And the city has been pressing ahead trying to put through the bridge. While on the other side, there are people who live in the neighborhood who realize the natural resource that would be disturbed by putting through such a bridge. And so you have some people who support the city's position and other people who would rather have people start using public transit or have them start walking where they need to be or have them do I don't know what, but not put that bridge through. It's just like, no way, and do we want that bridge put through? This course really speaks to contemporary issues. It's about what's going on in our neighborhoods. It's about what's going on in our city, in our state, in our country, and our planet.
20 years ago, these mesas were covered with vernal pools. In less than half a century, 90% of the vernal pools in Southern California are gone. Mainly development, but also from damage caused by human visitors to the vernal pool areas. Great for dirt biking, great for throwing rocks. Not a good thing for the vernal pools to be too close to so-called civilization. Vernal pools are very unique ecosystems on the planet. They have to be in a special area with hardpan below or some kind of soil type that does not allow for percolation of the water through the soil. They'll sit up on top of the mesas and wait for evaporation. In the meantime, little critters develop, rare and special plants that live only in vernal pools will go through their life cycle. So the vernal pool area, from a biological standpoint, from an aesthetic standpoint, they need to be saved for future generations. Within the last century, these mesa hilltops in Southern California were the home of hundreds of vernal pools. Today, 90% are gone.
I'm the head of an all-volunteer group called Friends of Rose Canyon. We were formed 3 years ago, and we are both north side of the canyon in North University City and South University City. And we love the canyon, so we do everything we can to bring other people here, show them what a great place we have, and protect and preserve it. That's what we're all about. And we're one of many friends groups in canyons all across San Diego now. There's like a kind of a giant upsurge in friends groups all over San Diego that adopt their local canyons. We're a nonprofit corporation, so we can apply for grants. We work very closely with the city. We work very closely with the rangers here. We co-sponsor most of our activities with them. So we have a very close, cooperative working relationship. A lot of people think about the coast when they think about San Diego and what sort of our great natural, the natural wonders of San Diego and what a beautiful place it is. And it's really our canyons as well as our coast that make San Diego very distinct. There isn't really another city that has canyons like this. Is an example of the kinds of things that we do here. We do nature walks. We do a whole bunch of them throughout the year, and we have hundreds and hundreds of kids and families and people that sign up for these over the course of the year. We're standing here in the heart of Rose Canyon. It's very scenic, both from the north side of the canyon and the south side here. This is kind of the area where most people come in and enjoy the park. We bring most of our nature walks here because there is so much wonderful stuff to see and to do. You can come next to one of the densest areas of the city. University City, the UTC Mall is right up there. This is all multi-family housing up here, condo complexes, things like that. And yet, in a few steps, you can come down to what looks like you're in the middle of the country. It's free. All we have to do is protect it. That's one of the things that our group is all about, is saving what we have here. And I think what you can imagine is, if you come back in 20 years, for us, we'd like to see this more beautiful than it is now.